Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before I start with the news, I would like to make a quick announcement. For some time, quite some time, me and Scott Ritter, we have been working on a project that soon, very soon will be launched. Those of you who are interested about it and who would like to know first, who would like to be notified first about this project, please join me on Locals. Join me on Locals because Locals will be the platform that I will be announcing this first, and it's also my way to encourage you to go on different platforms and be part of it. As YouTube, you know, you never know with YouTube, and I keep on repeating this in every video, and still many of you don't join me there. If you choose to become the supporter, it means a lot to me, but there is no pressure on it. So make sure to join me there and you will be the first one to notify it, and soon me and Scott will be announcing this project very soon. So guys, let's start with the news. The first one is a follow-up about the fire that took place in Warsaw not long time ago. I'm sure you remember this fire. The entire building, the entire hall where a lot of merchants were selling their products, a lot of Vietnamese people, and of course Polish as well, that have lost their job. And I came across this information that I haven't seen before. One of the firefighters who was involved in bringing this fire down, he said about this fire on Marywilska that this fire has started in 9 spots at the same time. 9 spots. So you don't think this is, so do you think this is deliberate? Or, I mean, if anyone is still questioning this, it's just a bad accident. How come this happened? Impossible. So how is it possible that you have the fire that starts in 9 spots at the same time? Tell me about it. So guys, today, what I have for you. You remember on Sunday, I have posted a video in which I was translating the speech of our new/old Prime Minister Donald Tusk, who went to Kraków to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the battle in Monte Cassino. And he gave 4 different projects that Poland will be involved in. He announced that Poland will be an Eastern Shield, protector of the West. He also mentioned that Poland will have the Iron Dome over European sky, will be part of the dome. And he also mentioned the investment into protecting the border with Belarus. And of course the SPEJ project, which is brand new equipment, uniforms for soldiers, and of course reservists, so no more shame for Polish soldiers. So let's continue with this, because now we will be talking about money. And this is very fresh, this is from yesterday. Title of this article is "I will present the project of an Iron Dome over Europe." Prime Minister Donald Tusk intends to announce a project to build a pan-European air defense in a few days. It already has the first promises of financing. Tusk hosted Nadia Calvino, I think that's how you say her name, who is a head of the European Investment Bank, an EU institution independent of the EU budget, which grants loans to member states for investments. Guys, this will be something. Just listen to this. The meeting was an opportunity to take stock. One sec. Brand new notebook. To take stock, the EIB, so European Investment Bank, has so far invested about 100 billion euros in Poland. Yes, so far. 100 billion euros in Poland, just from this bank. Here is the quote from this lady, Calvino. "Poland is our great success, clear proof of the benefits of EU membership." She posted this on the X, previously known as Twitter, as part of the summary of the visit. You remember the movie Borat? That's another CAA story. CAA agency, just look it up. CAA and CIA, a lot in common. You remember Borat? Great success, very nice. So this is great success, 100 billion euros so far. But this was in the past. Now we will have a fresh new money. Donald Tusk wrote that the EIB, this bank, had agreed to co-finance the planned European air defense system. Here is the post from Tusk. 300 million euros from the European Investment Bank for our satellite program to the safe Polish sky. End of the post. During the press conference after meeting, Tusk announced that he would announce the shape of the project in the coming days. So stay tuned, everyone. I will keep you posted. And more from Tusk. Satellite systems, reconnaissance systems will be indispensable, I think I pronounced it correctly, indispensable part of this project, which I will want to present together with other prime ministers. And this will be in a few days to present this and to the future Commission, European Council, so that the idea of this pan-European air defense, this Iron Dome over Europe, becomes less and less a dream and more real, practical plan. How practical, guys? That's what Tusk said. How practical? So we have 100 billion euros just from this bank in the past, plus 400 billion euros, we have now 400 billion euros. Just million, I made a mistake. Only 400 million euros, only. What's the interest rate, guys? Can someone calculate and tell me? I would like to know. Because our sky will be very safe. Meanwhile, on the Polish land, let me read you. On the Polish land, data on crimes committed by foreigners in Poland. The police presented data on crimes committed by foreigners in Poland last year, so 2023. They show that Georgians commit the most crimes. This is a kind of very informative but a bit confusing article, so I will explain after I read this to you. The National Police Headquarters told Rzeczpospolita newspaper, Soros Money, that last year 2,714 citizens of Georgia committed crimes in Poland. The Office of Foreigners informs that there are over 27,000 of them, so Georgians, who are legally in Poland with resident cards. It follows that every 10th citizen of Georgia has to deal with the law. Just quick sidetrack here. Recently we had a very horrific accident outside of Wrocław, one of the biggest cities in Poland, where they reported, there was a number, actually it was recorded, a number of people from Georgia, that's what they said, who were beating up, I think it was one Polish citizen. I'm not sure exactly if this case was because he saw them doing some transactions with drugs or dealing drugs or something like that. Nevertheless, this took place outside of the store, grocery store. It was during the day, people were recording. This was horrific and I couldn't really watch the whole thing because it's just too much. I cannot watch stuff like this, guys. So apparently those were from Georgia. That's what they said. But this article continues, and this is quite interesting. To make it not so pretty, we must know that among 4,695 foreigners suspected of crimes, statistically, the largest number were citizens of Ukraine, 2,288 people. Then Georgia, 901, Belarus, 277, Moldova, 228, and Russia, 80. The ranking of the 15 countries whose citizens most often break the law also includes Romania, 69, Germany, 67, Bulgaria, 63, Czech Republic, 51, and other places that follow. It's Latvia, Lithuania, Uzbekistan, Slovakia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkey. I don't know how this number with Ukrainians is true, because I've heard this firsthand from people whose spouses work at the police at the very, very high position, that they could not report many crimes as far as who did it. You know what I'm saying, right? But we are protecting the sky, so we are good, because, you know, sky is number one, because we're gonna have fights in the space. So check out the Sunday video. This is the next project. Soon we will be fighting in the space, as we are not already, right? From TASS. What President Putin just signed? Well, he signed a decree that is allowing the word I always have trouble pronouncing, seizure of US assets in Russia. This is from Moscow from yesterday, 23rd of May, that was Thursday. Russia will now have jurisdiction over American property in Russia to compensate for damages from the seizure of Russian assets in the United States. According to a decree of Russian President Vladimir Putin on the procedure for compensating damage to Russia from unfriendly actions of the United States. As part of the movable and immovable property of the United States, American companies and citizens on the territory of Russia, as well as securities owned by them, shares in the authorized capital of Russian companies and other property rights of the US and Americans in the country will be subject to, sorry, mispronouncing, seizure. You know what it is. Well, this is the karma. And meanwhile, in Poland, like I said, we are bouncing a bit today. From the beginning of this year, so 2024, until mid of May, the operations of the small companies that were suspended is 90,000 companies. So 90,000 companies just from the beginning of this year to the mid of this month until May, the mid of May, have suspended their operations, 90,000. The main reason is the increase in social and health insurance contributions. The number of suspensions is increasing, and if the pace continues throughout the year, this could be as many as 200,000 comparing to 180,000 last year. Before I go to the last part of this video, I want to show you, because I am in the rose garden. I've mentioned this before to you guys, and as you can see, the roses, one second, let me come closer here. The roses are starting to blossom. I think you can see behind me. So very soon, I think before I leave, I will be able to come here and show you more of the beauty of this place, because when all those roses are blossoming, it's so incredibly beautiful here. Now it's just a little bit, the beginning. Those of you who have gardens, and please continue with those gardens, you know the timing for the roses. I don't know exactly. And they all have the names, by the way. So just changing the subject. Oh, Mercury, for example. Mercury 2000 is not ready yet. Alright guys, so the last thing I have for you today in this video is a great comment that I just came across. Someone just posted under one of the pretty old videos that I had with Scott Ritter. And I decided to read this to you because, as you know, I want our nations, especially the Slavic nations, to come together and unite and not be manipulated by the politicians to hate one another. Let me find this spot, maybe here is good. So guys, comment is from Slavic Russia. Slavic Rusa. I am a Polish Russian and I know what you're talking about. The West has rewritten our history. That's a fact. This is why Poles have this distorted perception of our past. The truth is completely opposite. There is a book, this is how it's written, this comment. There is a book recently about how, this is quote, how Poles were building Russia. This is the title of this book. I never came across this book, by the way, but showing how close our nations are and how much participation and cooperation existed between our countries. I mean, we are blood brothers, very close culturally. Poles don't know about it now when you're being indoctrinated at every single turn. Not only schools, but the press, books, TV, music, you can't even imagine. This aggressive propaganda is spread everywhere and it's overwhelming. I'm sick and tired of the West trying to divide us. Yes, we had our little wars before Western engagement, but it was the case with every country. Please don't think Poles are some different being. We need your understanding and patience, which I know is very hard because we take part in hurting you. We wouldn't do that if we knew the truth. I really want to cry thinking about this. We are Slavic, we should be united. Then no one could touch us. United with South Slavs. We would united with South Slavs. We would kick Anglo-Saxons out of Europe. I know that fire is in our blood. Please take a look at this book, and if you can, tell me what you think. There is a huge bond between us that is the greatest threat to Anglophones. Let's not forget that we are family. We need it. Otherwise, we are all doomed. And postscriptum, thank you for saving us in 1945. Thank you for helping us build the country. They can try to cross it out from our history books, but not from our hearts. And there is a name of the person who posted this post, who wrote this here, is Karolina Eva Evgenieva. If you are watching, thank you so much for your comment. Thank you for putting this out. I can tell you a lot of people in Poland don't want any conflict with Russia. I'm not the only one who thinks like that. But of course there are people who are brainwashed and who still believe in what media tells them. And they follow the Western narrative. You know, they invest a lot of money. Those companies who, by the way, are destroying the small businesses, the corporations, the Western corporations, they pay. They pay those media to say certain things. So it's like a vicious cycle. It continues. But that's all I have for you today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope I was not too much distracted with other things today and you got the news in the right way. All the links you find down below in the description box as always, as well as locals, where I will be announcing the project with Scott. And also you have PayPal. Thank you so much for your donation. Thank you for buying me a coffee. Thank you for donating to my GoFundMe page, where is the fundraiser, and also for following me on Instagram. Join my mailing list free of charge. And I think that's about it. Lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. Look how beautiful. The sun is shining, guys. Let's keep on going.